Hello, I'm Casual K for Beats.power, and today I'm going to show you how to get better sounding drums, more realistic sounding drums. Now, I recommend buying a program, something like this one, Virtual Drummer, but if you don't want to kick out the money for that one, this drum kit right here, this high quality drum kit in the FPC, which you can get to by adding the FPC, and then once you open up your FPC, go to your presets, and go to high quality jazz. Go through all of them. Find a kit that you like for the style of music that you're making. In this case, I have this jazz kit. And the reason I'm saying use something like this FPC drum kit or the Virtual Drummer drum kit is because everything is already created for you. So you don't have to search around, does this kick go with this or this snare go with that? Everything is already grouped together for you. So if I bring up Virtual Drummer, I have a soft, these are drum kits. I have a soft drum kit, a deep, natural, tight, and hard. All right. And I like to have some mix presets over there. That's not the focus of this video. But the next thing you want to realize is under processing, you want to route your different drum elements to different microphones. So let's go back and I'm gonna close this down for a second. If I hit my kick drum, you see it's coming through the kick. If I hit the tom, it's still coming through the kick because the way it's going to be EQ'd. I'm gonna show you that in a second. But then you have your snare, hi-hat. Right. I have that ride cymbal there that's actually coming through the hi-hat. But then I'm sorry, you have this cymbal coming through the hi-hat, but this ride is coming through the cymbal. And you have a perk down here that's coming through the snare instead of the perk. It all depends on where the frequencies are. So when I open up my kick, take a look at the EQ. You're cutting off around 20, at around 20, no, right around 40 hertz. All right, and then you can copy this if you want. Just pause the video. The snare should go up a little higher. So you're at come on. The snare you're at right around 100 hertz. And again, you can pause the video and copy the rest if you want. My hi-hat, now this just come all the way around about 190. Oops, I did the wrong thing there. Oh, it's 135, around 135, 140 hertz. Cymbals. Won't open up for me. 300 hertz. So this is basically, this is a high pass with the steepest slope. So this should be number 8, yeah. So you're on a high pass with the number 8 on that. So what you're doing, you're cutting off all of the sound down here. When you play this cymbal, you don't want to have any sound below this frequency. That's why you want to roll everything off, or in this case, we are passing everything. All right, and so on and so on. So the point of this part of the video is that you have to EQ each instrument properly to get a good clean sound. Now, when you make your drum patterns, there's a couple other things you want to keep in mind. The very first one is, let's draw a whole new note down here. Let's go to C3. We're going to just draw a whole note. All right, now you want to keep in mind there are 4 notes, 4 beats per bar. All right, so we're in 4/4 time. You can check your time by going to your project. Here you have 4/4 timing. All right, so let's just go and highlight 1 bar here. What you want to keep in mind is this first beat is called your downbeat. That's the strongest beat. The third beat is your second strongest beat called the upbeat. All right, so you have your strongest beat, which is a downbeat. The third beat is your upbeat. The second and the fourth are called off beats or weak beats. The second is a little stronger than the fourth, but they're both considered to be weak beats. So when you listen to just the kick drum, it should go So I don't want to make those sounds. Your downbeat, the one, is always gonna be the strongest. Boom, and then it gets a little weak, and then come back on the upbeat, that third, and then a little weaker again on the fourth. So that's very important to keep in mind, is the strength of each beat. So let's go ahead and build a basic drum pattern. Let me do this. We're going to just build a basic drum pattern here. Let's do something like this. Try to think of what's a little something simple. That's good right there. Now I have to adjust the velocities in a second. You know what? I'm gonna do this. Let's give it a little something different. Okay, that's kind of cool. All right, now something that you want to keep in mind also is nothing at all should be on the grid. Not not one note at all should be on the grid. So with your snare, you might want to delay it just a little bit. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna highlight the row view with your snare, hit Alt and your arrow. We're gonna delay that snare a little bit. With the kick, you can bring that forward a little bit. So we're gonna bring these forward. I can't bring this first one any further forward, so I'm gonna just bring these forward. All right. Now with your hi-hat, the hi-hat you can push or pull. In this case, that's pull. We're gonna have it a little delayed. That's good. Do something like this. All right. Now remember I said I wanna delay these just a little bit. All right. So now we have a basic beat set up. We need to work on these velocities. So we're gonna turn the snare down a little. Now this downbeat we want to be pretty strong, but then we're gonna go a little weak here. And then even though this looks like it's the first beat in this group, it's still an off beat, a weak beat. We're gonna accent this one and then go down, back up. And then this is a weak beat here. All right, now with your snare, we're gonna turn those down some also, because that's on the two weak beats. I'm actually gonna turn this one down a little bit more. Now, people might think that's counterproductive because a lot of times you dance off the snare, you dance on the 2 and the 4, but you still can make those stand out in another way. And I'm gonna show you that in the next segment. All right, so I'm gonna bring these up like this, turn this down, turn that down a little bit, or pull it down, whatever you want to call it. All right, so now you have a pretty realistic drum sound right there, drum pattern. But what you want to do, you want to go to your mixer and start to get it tuned in the way you want it to sound. I already have my snare pan to the left. I have my hi-hat pan to the right. I have delay on the hi-hat. You can turn this off if you want. But I actually like it. You can mess around with the snare. How much reverb do you want? I'm actually gonna turn the kick. All right, now the next thing you want to do is add in something called subharmonics. You're gonna add those into your kick. And actually I want to put those in before the compressor, so I can use something like this to add some subharmonics. Just basically just giving a little extra emphasis to the low end. Turn it down just a little bit. All right, now something else that you might want to do is add some saturation to your master bus. All right, so we can use IBG12. This is a little Kilhelm This is actually free, but this is actually a really, really good saturation plugin. So what you want to do is just work on a little bit of the low end, boost the output a little bit, and add a little teeny bit of drive. Trim it a little bit. We'll turn down the asymmetrical mixer down a little bit. Alright, so now we have that low end really, really pumping, kicking hard, and you can still hear all of our mids and highs in the mix. You can bring up a spectrum analyzer and you can watch the frequencies and make sure everything is balanced the way you want. The low end should be the highest. So I'm going to turn down my hi-hat a little bit. That's perfect. Alright, so now what you want to do is actually add in a brick wall limiter. So after your IVGG, your saturation, we're going to put a brick wall limiter on the master chain. And you can use this LoudMax. It's another free program. And it has ISP, which is intersample polling or intersample peak detection. This is really good so you don't have those little stray peaks that's going to bust through this limiter. I'm going to put this on to play the sample and see how much we need to compress it or limit it. Take off a little tiny bit of the high. Alright, now we're going to come back here to our spectrum analyzer and take a look. Alright, what I want you to notice is we're peaking out, or our high was right around 12 dB. I'm sorry, 12 RMS. So that's perfectly fine to go up on the YouTube at that level, sounding really strong like that. There's no clipping, and our true peaks are at -13 with just those simple techniques. Something else that you might want to do, let me close this down for a second. You might want to pull this down and use something like this stereo separator here. You can turn on safe bass, boost these frequencies up to around 250, open this up a little, and take a listen. Now you probably want to use headphones so you can hear the difference. That's another great program that you can use for your drum. Something else that you might want to think about is something like, now I have the M Dynamic EQ, but that's a paid program, so we'll use the free version. And you want to go into the presets and go to master starting template. And you're going to click on that and actually leave it just like it is. You could add some more saturation in if you wanted to, but we already added our saturation in with the IVG12, so we're not going to add extra saturation there. Pull this down and go to something like a loudness analyzer. And here we want to set our LUFS. So for YouTube, it's going to be -14. Hit enter, hit reset. Now you see that actually added a lot to it. So now we have to check with our spectrum analyzer because we're probably over 14 here. But actually we're not, okay. Now short term we are around 12. Let's bring in a loudness analyzer. This actually gives us LUFS. Okay, so what it's saying here is momentarily, so we're getting really high peaks. I think I saw 8. Yeah, 8.5. But short term, 16. So overall, the mix is pretty balanced, right around 11 LUFS, but that's too loud for YouTube. So what I'm gonna do is bring in actually a compressor. Believe it or not, we're gonna bring in something like supercharger. Because what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna actually turn down the output after I get these levels right. All right, we're gonna compress it a little bit. We get it right around 4 dBs of compression. And now I need to see where I'm at. Actually, all right, so I need to take out about 3 dBs here. And there you go. And now you're right there, nice, strong, hitting drums, realistic sound, mixed properly, and boosted up to the proper level for YouTube, all in just a couple of minutes. This video has a lot of information in it, and I know I went kind of fast, but if you need more information or more details on any of the products I used in this video or any of the techniques I used in this video, just drop a comment down below. I'm Casual K. Y'all have a nice day.